I'm Tech Knight, and I won't stop searching until I find their whole truth. But what is that, please? Tech Knight, a friendly character, recently appeared in the Voices spin-off Gen B. He's a detective with super deductive powers that make him infallible in solving every mystery he encounters, to achieve what he wants most, gain more fame, and destroy the lives of his victims. I recently reread all the Voice comics to create a video series comparing aspects of the original material with Amazon's adaptation. We'll discuss characters, events, deaths, and revelations. To avoid missing out on this content, I recommend subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. If you're interested in this particular character, here are some differences between the original Tech Knight and the one adapted for Gen 5. In the comics, his real name is Robert Vernon, a billionaire who has a butler and lives in a mansion. And within this universe, he's a superhero who doesn't have any powers other than money. Literally, Compound B doesn't run through his veins, unlike almost everyone else. But when you have too much free time, you want to get attention, and you also want to belong to the superior race. Well, there's nothing a few million can buy, so here you have a super suit that almost puts you on par with the superhumans. As you likely noticed, this character is a combination of famous heroes like Blue Beetle, Batman, and Iron Man. Unlike his Gen 5 adaptation, where he has superpowers, he graduated from Godalkin University. He appears to be a blend of characters like The Question and Constantine. Although, of course, with that touch of depravity that characterizes most of the supers in this universe. In the comics, Tech Knight is not a significant character, even for the boys. His secret identity wasn't hard to guess, and you could assume he had some kind of cave under his mansion where he kept all his gadgets. It wasn't complicated either. Even so, we could point out that this guy was the leader of a team known as the Mavericks, and later became part of Payback, the second strongest team after the Seven. Like he told you, it's actually not very relevant. Hugh and Butcher aren't interested in him until they have to investigate a murder he might know something about, but nothing came of it. Throughout several panels, his psychological problems are revealed, which are the same ones shown in the series, only in the comics. He also had several problems with his teammates. For example, with the second Ladio, who would be like the equivalent of the Robins in Detective Comics. His first partner, the first Ladio, grew up, distanced himself, and took another hero name, the second Ladio. Another little kid without powers, who was trained to fight crime by this guy, with nothing else to do. No, this one, not the other one. Tech Knight's remaining self-control narrowly prevented a kid from becoming the victim of an atrocity. Was the smartest thing to do to get this kid out of his life, sending him to another young group of heroes before doing something stupid that would ruin both their lives? Unfortunately, his butler wasn't so lucky, and this servant decided to quit and walk away from the billionaire. Days later, Tech Knight's identity and psychological issues came to light, ruining his life and superhero career. In the epilogue of this arc, we can also see how Earth is about to be destroyed by a meteor shower. But fortunately, this hero decides to return to action, saving the entire planet, doing... well, I'll leave that to your imagination. Everyone on Earth forgives him and understands his problems, they love him again like before. But the meteorites never occurred. It was merely a dream. A dream that Tech Knight had before he died, when he was crushed by a wheelbarrow that fell from a building under construction. During the autopsy, it was discovered that Robert Vernon had a huge tumor in his brain, so it was only a matter of time before it came to an end. In the Gen 5 series, he also has this condition, but with some time left to ruin more lives. In his famous television show, will we see him again soon, in a second season? An unnecessary and embarrassing fact that you might be interested to know. During the interrogation of Tech Knight, he reveals having had a traumatic encounter with an anti-heroine named the Talon. Is this woman a parody of Catwoman in the comics? In fact, this story is a mockery of the toxic relationship between Batman, Robin, and Selina Kyle. Because outside of all the game between good and evil, at least in the boys' universe, these three implicitly knew they were just adults playing heroes and villains. One night, they met as close friends in the secret cave, and things escalated far beyond expectations. Like I said, unnecessary detail, but I'm telling you before you write it in the comments. Subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated with new content. We'll continue discussing the real team later. Payback, Soldier Boy Storm, and his relationship with Homelander, the unsavable plane, the final showdown, and the aftermath. Be aware, this may contain spoilers if you haven't read the comics. And also about what could happen in the upcoming seasons of the Amazon series. There are many differences between the two mediums, but you've been warned. I have nothing more to say to you for now. Thanks for visiting, everyone. I'm Alex from the NEGAYO channel. See you later.